Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? Um, we are here with playoffs for the IDM conference finals because I secured a first round bye with my 9-1 record in the regular season. We are facing our week 1 opponent, actually, ImPledge, and his Shamrock Snovers. Very solid player. He had a very solid season, like he went 7-3, I think, and he used his squad fairly well. Coco has been putting in the finest of work, and he likes his nice bulky offensive build, just like I do. I wrote the dig of Magiana plus 5 Catmons all season, so I decided to mix it up in the playoffs. I actually brought a pretty much hyper offensive team with Shifty Magiana, Shifty Carmines, Dazzling Beam, T-Bolt, Electro and Z, DD, Sub Protect, Arrows, Zygarde. Doesn't put too much work in this matchup because of what he brought, but can still weaken stuff for a potential beginner sweep. Brought Taunt, Rocks, Toxic, and Close Combat. Cobalion, my dedicated lead with the Air Balloon. Preventing Rocks and defog and getting up and keeping up my Rocks will be crucial. I want to weaken the Arcanine Dement as quickly as possible. Crookie has a Scarf set, Earthquake, Knockoff, Pursuit, and Outrage. I first considered Facade over Outrage. Definitely would have come in handy here, as you will soon see. But yeah, Outrage is just nice to OHKO mans, even though defensive mans after Rocks. So I figured I might use it to also prevent him from defogging. We brought defog mans in our first game, and this is his only form of removal, so it might be just exactly the same set again. Frogadier has T-Spikes, U-Turn, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump. I contemplated Gun Shot for a long time, or even Taunt over U-Turn, but I figured the coverage would be nice. U-Turn was mainly here for Hooper and Bound, which just drops to U-Turn, so I figured it could be nice to have. And last but not least, I get a Mega Slowbro, Max HP, Max Special Attack, 3 attacks, Quick Room, very dangerous late game sweeper resistant, especially if he lets his Manaphy get weakened, and like maybe he let his Coco take some chip early after the rest of his team basically OHKO'd after Rocks. Obviously Manaphy needs to be really low, but Piloswine can't take a Surf, Mance drops to an Ice Beam, Garbodor drops to Psychic, Arcanine drops to Surf, so very dangerous mon in this game. I'm actually like uploading this in the morning after after we played it yesterday. I like feel really bad because the fucking Eagles lost their fucking MVP quarterback last night against the Rams with an ACL tear, and I'm like devastated right now. Like I lost hours of sleep over this. Like it's always tough being an Eagles fan. Like I knew they weren't gonna win the Super Bowl, but at least like keep up the hope for as long as possible. But no, they have to like take all the hope away in the game where we beat one of the top 5 teams in the league to secure our NFC East title. But what can you do? What can you do? It's like always the fucking same with these Eagles. But anyway, I am leading off with my Cobalion here, predicting to either lead with Garbodor or maybe even like Mance to get off the Toxic or Draco, maybe even with the Piloswine to get up his Rocks, but I can prevent all of this. She leads with Manaphy, which leads me to believe this is more than likely a defensive variant with probably Toxic, U-Turn, Scald, and whatever last move he has. That's a set he brought in our first game, probably has Ice Beam for Zygarde on there. But I figured getting a Toxic off on there would be pretty nice. So I decided to just go for that. Instead of getting up my Rocks, I will get up my Rocks at like on the next turn easily. So I miss the Toxic here, so U-turns and breaks my balloon, so great start for me. But what can do? Goes into Arcanine, I know this thing will try to get a Toxic off on the Slowbro. So I decided to get up my Rocks here, live a Flare Blitz or a Fire Blast here easily, so getting up Rocks is crucial. On this next turn I actually want to click Frogadier, but as you see there, Crocodile and Frogadier actually sit right beside each other, and it was like sort of messed like kinda up because it told me my opponent was offline and didn't like really show his mons on the side, and I was talking to him like on Discord, hey, are you around? Like, Shodan is messing up for me, it says you're offline. But he indeed was online, so I decided, yeah, okay, it told me click, so I clicked Frogadier as I thought, but I actually clicked Crocodile here. A big misplay on my part. And he gets the Will-O-Wisp off. This is huge. This is so stupid. Like, Frogadier would have been very nice. They could have gotten off a Hydro Pump here for free, or a U-turn. If he decides to go into Manaphy, but like even Hydro Pump would have done like some nice 20% chip, but no, I click Crooker like a retard and get burned. This is huge, but not the end of the world. I go into Frogadier now, so I expect my opponent to switch out. He goes into Mantis, I will fire off an Ice Beam. I really want to try to U-turn Ulti, but if he's a max speed variant, which I don't think he should be, I outspeed him anyway and get off the Ice Beam and kill him. And if he goes Manaphy, that's not too big of a deal. It takes Ice Beam chip, it takes Rocks chip. I identify its item, if it's leftovers or not, and I can U-turn out after that, so that's kind of clean. Mans is forced out, and it has taken 75% already, which is nice. Get the Ice Beam off on Manaphy, which reveals to be max HP variant, and he has the leftovers, but get some nice chip off here with the U-turn as well. So this thing being low means that my Slowbro can easier sweep in the late game. Goes for a Skull, doesn't get the burn thankfully. I think I go for Toxic now, trying to see if he has Heal Bell or not. He goes for another burn, but yeah, like as you see, it like doesn't really affect my Cobalt. And the water's cold today, so that's kind of nice. But I will go for the close combat here now, because if he Heal Bells, I put him in range for Slowbro anyway. With 2 close combats, and he's like kind of forced to switch out at some point, and if he doesn't want to lose his Manaphy early. So I go for the CC here. Should do a lot. I do 37%, so he's not max defense, which is nice. Gets the heal bell off, but now he's in range for a high roll close combat, depending on the set. So we'll just fire off another close combat. I think, or do I go for Toxic? I think I go for the CC here, just to be safe. Yeah, I do. Now Mans comes in, I go for the taunt here in 2 seconds or so to prevent him from defogging. It works out perfectly as it tries to defog. Now I'll go for the Toxic, as he's gonna knock me out with the Fire Blast. But that doesn't matter, I prevented him from defogging, basically guaranteed, because he can't come in really on anything. And I can go into my Frog and knock it out with the Ice Beam. Maybe thought he might have been faster, but nah, there's no chance. So now Garbodor comes in, and I know this thing wants to lay up some layers of spikes. I figured he wanted to go for T-spikes first, as I felt it affects Slowbro and Zygarde more, especially if I'm another substitute Zygarde set. I could have stayed in and go for the Hydro Pump. Had I known that he goes for regular spikes here, I definitely would have gone for the Hydro and risked it. But I go to my Zygarde, predicting him to go for the T-spikes first, because if he gets up a T-spike, I'm basically like, my set is basically useless, so that's kind of dumb. Sub DD, Protect Ring, then doesn't really work with with the poison toxic spikes up. And here I go for the substitute deck, just to be sure. I know I knock this thing out with the arrows, unless he's Shuka, and if he's Shuka, he's guaranteed to get up his layer of T-spikes anyway, so I go for the sub, knowing that he probably can't touch me. Hidden Power Ice shouldn't break my sub because Zygarde is so bulky. Now I go for the arrows here, knocking him out. Yes, he gets up his spikes, but doesn't really affect me too much. My Zygarde is in, and he's basically forced to bring in Piloswine now, which I definitely will stay in all the time, unless he kills me, because that sets up my late game sweep fairly easily. Slowbro isn't really too effective because it's an offensive set. I can just like quick him up and then go for game after I took the hazard damage, and like Magiana obviously is immune, and Frogadier is basically useless in this late game. But anyway, goes into Piloswine and just go for the 1000 arrows here to get some chip off. That's some 19%, so he's a very bulky person. He will have the Icicle Spear. Gets 2 hits, gets 3 hits, and that's it. So that's nice for me. Go for another arrows here. Bring him to maybe predict a switch into Mag, an aggressive switch or so. Goes for the Earthquake, doesn't have the Ice Shot as it looks like. And I go for another arrows, which is nice. And now he kills my Zygarde, but that's now it's basically checkmate. But as I go to Frogadier here, I had this game won had I made 1 of 2 plays. Either go into Magiana and shift gear up, because then he's either forced into I shift gear up and he either Earthquakes me and then drops to a Dazzling Gleam the following turn, which gives him my Solar Boost, which means I OHKO everything that he wants to go into. Or he goes hard into Arcanine, which I basically get to shift gear off, Carmine up on once because he's a special variant, as he will reveal later. Carmine up once, maybe twice, knock it out with the Gigavolt Havoc and sweep from there. Other option that I have, go slow roll, get up a Trick Room, KO with the Surf, get some chip off on Coco if he wants to bring it in, or Oko, Manaphy, and Arcanine on the switch in, then get some chip off on Coco, which basically guarantees my Megiana to, or my Crocodile to revenge this thing. Crocodile obviously can knock me out, not Crocodile, Coco obviously can knock me out, but if he goes Coco first after taking a Psychic, I can just bring in Megiana and sweep from there, because Megiana outslows his entire team once Slowbro killed the Piloswine, and basically sweeps in the late game as well. But I click Frogadier like a retard. The reason being is, if you use a Karma and Coco, a Fat Karma and Coco, I want to get up a T-Spike here to make sure it gets some necessary chips so that I can potentially 2 KO with the Burned Earthquake still, even if it's like max HP, with Roost and leftovers and shit like that. But instead of clicking Toxspikes, and don't ask me why, I really don't know why I did this. I probably felt like, yeah, I have this game in the bag, fuck it. I'm just like clicking Hydro, and I click Hydro like a retard, like I have Down syndromes and stuff. But this thing goes down, and now I'm like, whoops, I'm in a super bad spot if it's Karma and Coco. What the fuck are you doing, Aki? So I allows Coco to get in. I don't know why I didn't click T-Spike there. T-Spikes basically would have guaranteed me the win. But this is Electric Seed bulky Coco, which is really, really sick. I'm going to Crook here because I have to like scout for damage. She can scout for damage I can do with the Earthquake, and like to get rid of his electric terrain. I can't really bring in Megiana on the electric terrain at all, so I have to play around this Coco a little bit. I go for Earthquake here. It's my best play. 40% here on the high roll. I think the roll after the game we looked it up and did like 36 to 42.7, I think. So definitely a high roll here, but head-to-head Facade, this game would have been over. Just 2 KO the Coco and then get my Moxie Boost and Oko everything back. But I had Outrage obviously over the Facade. This seems to cost me, like, as you see, Coco can just set up in my face. He will go for a Carmine here. Don't get a crit, obviously, never lucky. And yeah, this Coco here, unless my Megiana can somehow pull this off, this Coco will basically sweep my ass. Here I predict him to either go for another Carmine or for another Roost, or even for Dazzling Gleam. And I go into my Megiana because Electric Terrain will wear off. Goes for a Roost. I shift the up as he goes for a second Carmine. It's not too big of a deal because I can shoot it because I get up the +1 first here. But he can T-Ball para me, for example. He can like just get some chip off. I have to Carmine again as he Carmines again. Now it's Carmine was, but Coco will eventually win it by the looks of it. Yeah, he drops him to 23. Had I gone for to +3, +3, +4, +4, it would have been a roll for the next T-Ball to kill me. But the roll was in my favor, but I didn't want to play around rolls or getting T-Ball parried on the next turn. So I decided to go for Dazzling Gleam now. I know it does like 63 max to the set, and this is not enough to kill him with the Crocodile potentially. Go for the Dazzling Gleam, do 60 on the spot, and I had to go into my Crooker now. You know that I did 40% the first time I clicked Earthquake, but I got 36 after that. And if I don't get the roll, this is game over and Pledge will advance to the finals. I click EQ and this Coco actually drops. I got 2 really big rolls here. 60% with the Gleam was a big roll and 40% was a big roll as well. And now my Crooker can just clean up the game. If Arcanine kills me, as he actually misses the Fire Blast, my Slowbro just sets up a Trick Room and sweeps anyway. So yeah, that's gonna be the game. Got kind of lucky there after a really big choke in the late game, but Crocodile Megiana came in clutch, and I was able to get the win. GG to ImPledge. He like played a terrific game. He brought a very, very solid team with me. Even though he was like kinda being swept after he killed my Zygarde, I couldn't capitalize on this for whatever reason. But somehow like I got blasted by some higher power with the 2 high rolls that I got, and I'm able to advance to the finals, which is hype. We'll play Melon Toshington, I think is his name, for the finals. He had a very terrific season as well. So this should be a fun one. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Pretty quick upload of this game. Didn't want to go too much into depth because I'm still pissed as fuck about stupid cards and wins. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and comment if you did, and I catch you in the finals. See ya.